All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this timing research special event. My name is David Cosmeter. I'm the creator of Timing Research. And today I've arranged this presentation titled Three Huge Challenges to Prop Trading Profits with Norman Hallett. And of course, this presentation is for educational purposes only. Trading is not suitable for all people. Please consult with a financial advisor and only trade with money you can afford to lose. This recording is, or this presentation is being recorded and will be available on TimingResearch.com as soon as I can get it processed. And also, if you search for Timing Research on YouTube, Substack, or your favorite podcast app, you'll be able to find it there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Norman Hallett.
Thank you, David. Well, it's good. I'm sure people will be happy to know this is also not only is it the recording presenting being recorded, but the recording is being presented later on. So that's you got it both right. Thank you for coming, everybody, on a Thursday evening where the market really only traded. I thought my computer froze, but I kind of forgot that the stock indices closed today at noon. That is a picture of my brothers and I. There were four of us. My twin brother passed away about 15 years ago. He was the good twin. He was a elementary school librarian. I don't know if I ever told you that, David, in Baltimore. And they named the whole thing after him after that, but he was very, very well known. 25 years in the same elementary school. These are my brothers. The one in the middle is my little brother. He's just I think he's 64 now. My older brother, who lives in Egypt, he's on the left. I don't know why he lives in Egypt, but he loves it. And that's me on the right, the smiling face who is receding. I've receded just a little bit more since then. All right, enough about us, but I just wanted to give you a little background on me and where my siblings are, where we came from. People always love the fact that we're still all close. And so that's really a good thing. So I want you to get close to me too, be one of the brothers. Or I don't have a sister, love to have another sister trader here. I'm going to present to you what I believe are the three huge challenges to prop trading success. Gosh, I love this prop trading thing. I hope it lasts forever. I don't know if it will. I think it will. But you never know. But the idea of being able to trade somebody else's money and get 90% of the profit. In fact, Apex, what I trade through, and I'll show you some alternative places, but they give you 100% of the first 25,000 you make on each account that you have, and you can have as many as 20 accounts. Anyway, I just love the fact that it takes some of the pressure off a trader, but you got to be a little bit better trader than maybe you've been before from a standpoint that you can't be a cowboy. You've got to think like a professional trader. And any complaints that prop traders have, new ones about some of the stringent rules about risk, are complaining because they're not thinking like professional traders. Professional traders will not give away, for instance, open trade equity. If you're trading a $50,000 account and the market goes up $1,000 in an open position that you have, and you let it go to break even, hey, you may say to yourself, hey, that's okay. With your own money, you still have your 50,000. Yeah, I should have taken the 1,000. That won't fly with a prop firm or when you're trading somebody else's money. When I was a professional trader for Payne Weber, you learn to defend those kinds of advances when it's open trade. So rather than complaining, of which I think winning traders and serious traders don't complain very long because they see the beauty of being able to trade hundreds of thousands or over $1 million like you'll be able to trade. And the beauty of following a few simple rules to have you act like a professional and trade like a professional trader. But let me get into what I believe are the three huge challenges to prop trading. Now, if you don't prop trade, this is pretty good advice for you too. And I'll emphasize what David said about futures trading is risky, can result in substantial loss, and only risk capital should be considered. And further, past performance is not indicative of future results. I'll be showing you a couple of testimonials about some of the work that I've done with people, and they had those experiences, and I'd love for you to have them too. But it's really up to you how serious you want to get about doing the right thing. There's the University of Cincinnati, and before we opened officially here, I bantered about about my experience there. I was in the restaurant business. Cincinnati is still a work-study school. When you really don't have the money for college, this one was allowed me to work for a quarter and go to school for a quarter, work for a quarter. So on those off, I was, of course, like most of us, were waiters. And I wound up after graduating in mathematics. Uh, I decided to stay in the restaurant business, wound up running the Prime and Wine restaurant. Actually, I was assistant manager. They sent me to other places to open other Prime and Wines after that as the manager and as a general manager. But if you're in Kenwood, in the Kenwood section of Cincinnati, you know what I'm talking about. But the money was in, I learned very quickly that the money was not in the food. The money is in the booze. So I started, I took a job with a place called American Events Corporation. We were opening Park Avenue nightclubs. We were the main competitor to Studio 54. Man, was that fun. I mean, the dance floors and the lighting. And the problem is you can only stay in that business and keep sane for probably about a year and a half. That was my limit. But that was a lot of fun, and that was another learning experience. But I thought, what could I do with my math degree? Let's get serious about my life. Yes, all of that was fun, and I, was known in certain cities for the guy that was in the guy that had the club and so on. But it wasn't my club. They didn't even pay me a lot. I said, I've got to utilize. So my brother was Harry Brown was one of the first gold bugs. He was my older brother that you saw. He was into him, so I got into gold. So I took a job selling gold and silver options, and within about I'd say about 16, 18 months, I was the assistant manager and then finally the vice president running an office like this. Now, this was an options firm. This is actually not the picture of the firm. I couldn't, but this looks exactly like it. Nobody took a picture of the firm I was with, but I had 63 brokers slash professional traders under me. They all traded with their own systems and so on. And this is where I learned how to what kind of trading plans work and what doesn't. And that's why I became a trading plan creator, wrote several papers and several books on trading plans. But this is where I got my experience. When somebody was not doing well for their clients, I was watching their client equity go down, I would bring them into my office and almost to the person, I would have my red pen out and say, you don't need a MACD when you have an RSI. You don't need duplicate confirmation tools. This is what I learned, the simpler the trading plan, the better. And a lot of it had to do with the mental part of having a simple trading plan. There's no discussion in your head. If you can have a simple trading plan and it tests well, that's the one to use. Okay, I mentioned Payne Weber, worked for them as a commodity trading advisor. I mentioned that the prop trading firms pay you 90%. They were paying me 20% of the profit that I made. Well, the clients pay me 20% of the profit that I made for them in their accounts. That wasn't, I don't believe it's as good as what I'll make it's getting very close with prop trading. So let me show you. I did mention I wrote some books. That's one that's still available there's one written about me, Amazon. I opened the Discipline Trader in 2000 because I realized that it really wasn't about the trading plan as much as about the mental part. Both of them were equal in importance. So because I'm married to one of the world's top subconscious trainers, I decided to formulate the Discipline Trader in order to help traders with the mental piece. So in 2000, that's what we did. And we've been doing it ever since for now 24 and a half years. And what I realized about 5 years ago is we were getting people very disciplined to run lousy trading plans. So, hey, let's change that. I got back into my roots about making trading plans. And the best trading plan that I've ever written, I believe, is called Loaded Gun. I'm going to be offering you that at the end. And if you stay till the end of this presentation, I've got something that you never heard. I'm going to guarantee that you never heard. It's a little, it's not a trick. It's a tip. It's something that I noticed years ago. I'm going to show you a few charts that prove at least this week what I'm saying. And you can take this information and go back and see if it's the truth, because this little tidbit I'm going to give you at the end of the presentation has nothing, it's really nothing to do with prop trading, except for it's a great trading setup that when you see, you're going to want to take advantage of it. And it's very different. And I know you've never seen it. So please stick around. Okay. You're not going to be disappointed. Maybe disappointed in the presentation I'm making, but you're not going to be disappointed in the tip that I'm going to give you at the end. Okay. Because nobody's ever told you this or even mentioned it. Nobody even probably have realized it. All right. Today we're going to cover the 3 prop trading challenges and how to overcome them. These are the big ones that I see. The magic of nuances and why they're important. Every trader is different. I've mentioned my love for understanding the traders. Most of them lose not so much because of the trading plan, it's because they can't get out of their own way. You've heard 90% of traders are unsuccessful or struggle. That is true. And the reason is because their trading plan doesn't match who they are. One thing you can do is change the way you think and act to act the way the trading plan has you act. Like if it's a trading plan that has signals all the time or one that requires patience, you better be fast or you better be patient or you're not going to run that. I'm going to show you a few things that you probably have never seen before in this area that's important to prop trading. And then I'm going to give you a special offer because not because you see, I didn't change that Saturday. Shame on me. Again, I'm ahead of myself. I'm into Saturday already, but because you took that time today with me and David put this all together for timing research. Okay, let's get into it. Prop trading challenge number 1, the red line. Okay, the red line is the line that that you bust out your account. It's the overall drawdown limit. In other words, if you open a $50,000 account, many of you know, all of my examples today about prop trading will be about a $50,000 account because that's the one that I suggest that people start with Apex and actually continue with. And all of the other prop trading firms that I've analyzed or had analyzed for me, they all have usually a $50,000 that has similar numbers. And those numbers are, if the equity falls below 47,500, 2,500, that's a 5% loss. If you lose 5% of the money, you're busted out and you have to re-up again. And it's a small charge for in the evaluation stage, but once you're funded, once you make $3,000 before you lose 2,500, then you're funded with actually $50,000. And at that point, if you do hit that red line, you've got to go back to the evaluation stage. So you've got to avoid the red line. Okay, it either costs you a little bit in the evaluation stage, or you got to go back to it if you're in the funded stage. I hope you're with me. I'm kind of talking to people who understand prop trading, but go with me if you're new to it and just considering it. All right, the issue is that the tight drawdown limit, 5% of open trade equity, it's actually less than that in the numbers I talked about. It's $2,500 in a $50,000 account. On a $50,000 account, you cannot breach 47,500. Okay, and so the $2,500 differential follows you all the way to your $3,000 profit goal. It's not true of a funded account. Once you get past 53, 54, that red line doesn't follow you. You're much more free to trade. That's where you want to be. Funded, you want to get through the evaluation stage, which is make $3,000 before you lose 2,500 from your trading high. And then when you're funded, you want to push yourself out so that you move away from that $2,500 line. Again, not a problem, but this is this tight drawdown. This is the issue. The fact that if you have a couple of trades where you allow yourself to lose $500 on a trade, all of a sudden you're only $1,500 from the red line. You start to get a little nervous. You start trading a little bit more carefully. You're picking into, you let some go by that you shouldn't have. Things start to happen if you let yourself, the emotions start to come with the red line. So as you are working toward your goal of $3,000 profit on a $50,000 account, the closer you get to the red line, the more stressful your trading becomes and often pulling you off your plan. I think if you've been struggling in prop trading, you know what I mean. Okay, so here's a solution. Every trade, now there are a lot of probable solutions, but I'm giving you the solutions from knowing But being in the business a long time, this is my take, okay, from the background that you've seen. Every trade should include scalping in part or whole. Now, I am not a scalper. I've never been a scalper. In fact, in one of the books that I wrote, I never even mentioned the idea of scalping. I always talked about trend following, so on and so forth. But in when you're trading prop trading, it's important to include scalping. Um, because when you scalp, if let me just say that here's an expression that I want you to that you've heard a million times. The less you maybe not in the way of trade, but the less you ask from a trade on initiation, you put on the position. The less you ask from a trade, the more likely that you'll have a favorable income. It's true of life. I mean, when I was dating, I won biggest flirt in high school, and and I didn't put that in my background. And David probably didn't even know that. But you know, if you ask somebody for, and when you're dancing with your significant other, and when you're in high school, your girlfriend, in my case, or somebody I wanted to be my girlfriend, I would say, "Can I?" You kind of go with the lips getting close. You want to give them a kiss. Can I kiss you? Yeah, and the answer was usually yes if you were having a good time. Kiss on the cheek, you can do that. The less I ask for, the more possibility. But if I said, "Hey, yeah, we want to go back to my place," I don't think so. I don't think we're there yet. The less you ask from the less you ask from a trade on the initiation, the more likely it's going to be favorable. A favorable outcome. I give you that kind of crazy story because I want you to remember this, okay? And in prop trading, if you have the right kind of trigger that is tested to give you a nice pop, you can just take what God gives you, as my mother used to say, and what that does is it immediately buffers the distance between you and that red line. Okay, so the best way, you got to stay away from the red line. That is what screws up most prop traders. They get scared. They get nervous. I don't want to do this again. I busted it out again. I busted it out again, and they start believing they're losers. If you've ever been in business, I can't tell you all of the ads I put in things and all the hours I spent. No return, nothing. I learned not to do that. Okay, it's the same thing in trading. Trading is an education. Okay, losing is just part of the overall winning, but you got to learn from it. I'm teaching you right here. If you're a prop trader, you want to consider scalping. And when I say part or whole, I'm going to show you what I mean fully in a second. But um, I like to put on a couple of positions at a time, at least two when I start trading, and I like to take a scalp on the first one and treat the other one as a runner. Okay, so if the risk is enough to put on two positions, I'm going to have one as a scalp and one as a runner. If the risk is too big to put on two, if I put on two positions, but the trigger is there and really in a fine place, I'm going to put on one contract and treat it as a scalp. Okay, so that's what I mean by part or whole. All right, each successful scalp adds the distance between your balance and the red line. Okay, so I like to use that scalp runner combination upon the execution of a trade, or use scalping exclusively the way I'm talking about. Okay, because I like to include the runner. Why? Because look, we as traders, we're not here for 10 cents. We're here for $10, so to speak. You want to give, look, trading gives you the opportunity. Anybody that's been trading for a long time has had a trade that they just raked it. You want to leave yourself open for that, but you all want to trade responsibly. Okay, scalp and runner. I love that combination for this, and I love it for your head too. All right, I'm just going to ask right here if we're okay. How many days? Sometimes somebody just asked $3,000 goal on how many days. I believe the standard is 7 days, and you can't have any one trade that's over 1/3 of that 3,000. If not, they'll adjust it, and you may have to go a little higher. But generally, if you keep each win below $1,000, you can work your way to that. But they'll have specials where they'll say 1 day to one, do it in 1 day, where you can be very aggressive if you're willing to pay a bunch of resets. Anyway, are you into this? I just want to hear a little bit more involvement from you. Are you getting what I'm talking about? Are you feeling my success? Are you feeling my excitement about this? Just if anybody can give me in the chat, just let me know you're with me on this, and I will just go to step 2. Okay, Peter says yes. Jan Jan says yes. Howard says yes, and that's all I need. Look at that star. Yes, with caps. All right, let's go to number 2. So you got to avoid the red line, and I've got a couple more ways to do that. I wanted to give you I thought the most important one. But really, once you trade with a relaxed confidence, you're going to do much better. Okay. Now, the second prop trading challenge is identifying a set of frequent, reliable triggers. That's my work. I mean, you can do that on your own and do the back testing, but the only real good testing is real-time testing. So it takes some time. It takes me months to forward test a market. So the issue here is that in order to keep the risk-reward ratio in line, a reliable trigger, one that gives you a pop in your direction upon application of at least 65% of the time is needed. A pop means one that moves in your direction within the first few candles. In general, I also teach exiting too, because that's a very important part. And in exiting, there's a certain number of candles that I won't let get past my trigger, because if I do, the further you get from the trigger, the less that trigger has influence on price. So if you understand that, you understand that you put on a trigger and you want to move from it, right? That trigger is telling you something. It's change of direction, continuation of a trend. It's telling you something. And if that something doesn't happen, you got to be smart. You got to say, hey, I'll take a partial loss. I'll take a small, and there are ways and moments to take a partial loss. But when you have a trigger that gives you a pop at least 2/3 of the time, and we've got 2 of them, and we're working on the third but the loaded gun trigger, I'm going to show you that. We call it the loaded gun trigger. I may be able to show you the trigger, but that's not important. Because it's where the trigger appears and so on. It's just not the actual formation. It's got to be in the right situation. But the idea is that when you get it, you get a high probability of taking that scalp, and that's what you want. The rest, if it happens, it happens. You get the runner, because when you take your scalp, you're going to move to break even on your stop on the remaining position. Okay. So again, the identifying a set of frequent, reliable triggers is very important in your trading plan as a prop trader. The trigger must also be frequent, meaning that the trigger appears often enough not to challenge your patience as you wait for it to occur. I don't know if you've ever been in a trading room. In our trading room, if you can sit there, I mean, most trading rooms, as ours, is quiet a lot of the time. 2/3 of the time, you're waiting for something to happen. Now, the difference is, I mean, it's pretty quiet when you're alone. I mean, you may say, come on, when you're waiting for something to happen. But in general, it's quiet. You got to wait for your setup. And you can't keep repeating yourself. So it's a lot of, when it's quiet, you start thinking a little bit. You start talking to yourself. And if you're not a patient person by definition, trading is going to be a tough thing, especially prop trading and any kind of real responsible trading. You got to be willing to wait for the trigger and the trigger to be in the right place. If you have a frequent trigger, one that you're going to get, you're confident you're going to get a trigger at least every hour on a 5-minute candle chart, or every half hour on a 2-minute candle. If you're confident you're going to get a trigger in a reasonable period of time without having to go to the 1-minute candle chart or whatever. I use the 5 a lot. I go to the 2 when I'm saving equity and so on. But I can show you that at a later date. But the idea here is that if you have a frequent trigger, you're not going to talk yourself out of doing something right. I don't know. I'm not blaming you for being a bad person. You're probably a great person. But you can be a lousy trader if you just have to listen. I like the action, and this is why I'm here, because I find it exciting. And if that's not true for you, once you start making money, it will be true for you. I want to be in, so I need a trigger that is frequent. And I've noticed that when I build triggers, trading plans with myself in mind, other people like it because they don't have to wait that long for something to happen. So again, a frequent, reliable trigger. Okay, so the solution is to have at least 2 of what I call A+ triggers. ones that you know are going to jump that 65% upon execution. If you have three, it's even better. And I only threw that in because we're working on one that have been tested thoroughly to meet the frequent, reliable standard. If you trade a single market, change time frames to expose more triggers. Just mentioned I go from the 10 to the 2, or from the 10 to the 5 to the 2, whatever I'm trading, the lower you go in time frame, the more you're going to get signals. Okay, that's just by definition. For example, two short candles can combine to one long candle enough to be identified as a trigger. So many times I'll be trading the 5-minute chart and I'll see two candles that if they were just one candle, they would break the line that I want to break, the moving average that I like to see it break before I take a trade. So I will move to the 2, and you get pretty good at looking at a 5-minute chart and realizing what would happen if you combine a couple of candles. So I just want, I'm giving you a lot, I'm giving you a lot to think about. I'm not showing you any pictures because that, believe it or not, that would be more confusing. I do have a chart to show you, a quick chart. But if you trade a single market, change time frames to expose more. Or you can do, I'm looking at 6 or 7 markets at the same time. I'm used to doing that. I don't expect everybody to do that. But if you're only looking at one market or 2 markets, you can change time frames and expose more triggers, okay, by lowering your time frame. Trade more than one market, as I mentioned, say the NQ and the S&P. 2 markets mean twice as many chances for your trigger to be created. And or disassociated markets, say crude and NQ. If I'm working on profiting from 2 different $50,000 accounts that I have, and I'm trading those 2 accounts at the same time, I will often use different markets. This way, I'm diversifying my risk in that way too, but I'm still taking the right triggers. I'm still using the same system. Anyway, I think I've beat this up a little bit, but I just wanted to make sure that you understand that. Okay, before I do, what's a pop? A pop is a move to at least take your, wherever you've measured your, we have a measure that we use to take our trigger, but I always put in my limit sell on a long trade to take that pop. A pop means a move in your favor within the first candle or 2. That's a pop. 2 points, 10 points, not 2 points, not 2 points. In the S&P, for instance, if I'm trading a full S&P contract, let's say, I'm looking for one, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 8 ticks. I'm looking for $200 from my full contract. I'm looking for that. So you can break down to each tick, but a tick is not. A tick can confuse people because then you think you're using tick charts. I'm looking for 100 or a couple of, looking for something reasonable. Okay, so we can discuss all of that, but not 1%. It actually varies with us with the size of the trigger. We have a simple trigger, but it can appear in different sizes. The bigger the trigger, the more we ask from it. Again, I don't want to get into that, but it's a good question, and I hope I've partially answered that for you, Nate. Okay, is everybody ready for trading challenge 3? Are you digging this? Are you into this? We won't. It's not much longer, but if you stay to the end, I'll tell you something you never heard. But just tell me you're with me. I just want to, sometimes I think I'm talking to I'm a fast talker. Howard again. Yes, man. All right. And Steve, thank you. Jan, give me somebody new with the trigger. Here, George, okay. Hey, George, good. Here. Hey, George, here, with the hand raised. Hey, I was a math teacher. I didn't tell you that, but I was fired because I was teaching kids replacement theory in blackjack. And they saw that, and I was fired on the spot in the hall. It was the quickest math teaching career in the history of mankind. It was about 6 months long. All right, so let's get to number 3. Okay, prop trading challenge number 3. And then I'm going to make you an offer, and then we're going to show you some crazy stuff. Okay, let's see if I can change this. Oh, here's an idea. Here's my chart. I just want to show you. This is how simple my chart is. Okay, I won't give you the parameters of it, but never trade a government report. This is what happens. Goes one way, goes the other way, or you gotta wait. But this is how frequent and reliable our triggers are. This is a trigger right here. So if I got in, I'd be here. If this was a trigger here, I had an immediate move. This was a trigger here, got an immediate move. This was a trigger here that did not work, right? Didn't work, but the trigger was enough to keep me solid. I would have been out right here, and I'll give you that piece of advice at some other point. Here's another one right here. I waited for two triggers, but the fact that in this case it was still over the moving average that I love, I stayed with it. And here's another trigger. So you see that over 65% of the time, probably in this example, 80 or 85%. And I'm not cherry picking here. If you learn what our trigger is, you're going to see that was actually from an old chart of August, but you can do that on any chart if you know our system. Just saying, I just show you what a frequent reliable trigger, but mostly I wanted to show you how simple our charts look. This is what we trade from. Okay, it's not a complicated thing, and it really, really works. So actually, there's another moving average we use also in the second phase when you learn. Again, very simple, but it prevents you from being in markets that you shouldn't be in, and trades you staying in trades that you normally would get knocked out of. So let me show you. Hang on one second. I think I got another. Paris, oh, from Chicago, I don't know. Nerves increase as you get closer to the finish line. I mentioned the red line. The finish line is the $3,000 line. What happens with traders is just like the red line, when you're doing well and you're getting close to qualifying, sometimes you freeze up. You don't want to backtrack. You're so close. You really, no. You really, there are certain things that you want to do. I want to give you some advice on when you get close to the finish line, what I call the green line. Okay. The issue is when the account balance gets near the finish line, nerves increase, leading to being too careful, causing hesitation and mistakes. Okay. This applies to both the evaluation stage and the funded phase. In the funded phase, all you got to do on a $50,000 account is make 2,600, not 3,000. And after that, you can start asking them to pay you some of the profit or all of the profit. Okay. So, this idea of getting close to where you want to be, it also brings up emotions. You don't want to screw up when you're so close. Okay. So the solution is you want to I find that when traders trade two accounts at the same time, you can and you get close to that red line, you can trade the same contract. In other words, two different accounts, but say you're taking 4 micro S&P in each one. You can trade the same contract using different contract sizes. So you may trade 4 in one and 6 micros in another, one a little bit more aggressively than the other. Okay. And I do that because, again, if you're following the system, you should, the percentages are that you'll have a winning trade in every trade that you make. But of course, you can have losers in a row. But the idea is if you give one account a little bit stronger taste than the other account, and you're right, you're going to break that green line. If you're wrong, you're going to move away from the green line, but the one that you were light with was less effective. If you understand it, it curves the emotional response to losing enough so that it's not an issue. Where you don't say to yourself, "Oh, I'm going to do that again. I'm so far. Why do I keep doing it?" That doesn't happen as much when you vary. Listen, if you're a complainer, I can't stop you from complaining. Actually, I know a few very successful complaining brokers, so that's not going to kill you, but it will hurt our discussions. A positive result in both accounts will break one through. A negative will keep one closer to close or a combination thereof, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I know it sounds like it. Why would you do that? But I think if you do this, you're going to find that that's going to be the case. Adjust your plan to match who you are emotionally, your emotional truth. I hit on this in the last tip. In addition to training your subconscious mind, strengthen your weaknesses and emphasize your strengths. If you're an impatient person, you can do some subconscious trainings and do some EFT work, emotional. We offer all of that in a different part of our company. It's not what I'm talking about today, but many who have even our trading plans see the success that others are having in our group and can't get out of their own way, that they will ask us to help them in this other way. But if you adjust your trading plan to match your emotional truth, rather than trying to change your brain, which you should be doing anyway, through your work with your subconscious mind and so on. It's scientific. We use all the great methods. We're the best in the world at that. But the other way to do it is to maybe change your trading plan to match you. This way you don't have to do anything. So that's one of the things I showed you with a frequent, reliable trigger. A frequent trigger makes it so that if you're generally impatient, it won't affect you as much. You don't have to challenge that part of yourself. So just saying that was kind of a last tip in here to look for ways to come to the middle. Change the way you think, change your trading plan to who you are, and meet in the middle. That'll be your fastest road to success. Okay, I want to give you something special. I hope you listen. I'm just not throwing stuff at you. A part of what I offer, and I'm going to offer it to you, is one-on-one training with me, where you and I meet. I'm going to find out who you are, how you think. I'm going to suggest certain things that are not here that are for you personally. But I want to first say to you, if you're new to the prop trading world and you haven't decided, I chose Apex because of certain general comparisons. I gave them the parameters. I hired somebody to go ahead and look at these companies with certain parameters. Who's growing the fastest? Who's paying out the most? Who's been around the longest? Those kind. If you can't read it, but if you want this, just email me. Oh, well, let's see. The Discipline Trader. Oh, well, do the disciplinetrader.com /Apex. That's my special. I've negotiated with Apex because I send a lot of people there. And they give me the best pricing. So if you're an Apex person and sometimes you're not sure, they say something, but somehow it's not there, use my link. You'll always get the best price, either 70, 80, or 90% off. Usually, right now it's 50% off. They're being tough right now, but that link is for you. Go ahead, David, and put in the link my address. Put admin at thedisciplinetrader.com. If you write me there, I will get you. I don't want to give you too many things to do, but if you write admin at thedisciplinetrader.com and say, send me the prop firm study, I'll send this to you so you can take a look at it if you're still deciding on that. I have no problem with doing that for you, even if I never see you again. Okay, but I want to see you. I want to see you again. All right, so enough with that. Sometimes these are, every time you pass, they give you a certificate. I've passed with Top Step 2 several times. I've traded with them. And when you start getting paid, they send you, things every time you can ask for as little as 1,000, as much as you want. I usually don't ask for any more than 2,000, but I just want to show you that they encourage you. They send you banners every time to make you feel good. But it's good. It's fun. It's fun when you're winning. It's a struggle when you're not. So for passing the prop evaluation and getting funded and paid money in your account, I want to work with you on the Loaded Gun Simple Trading Plan. Now, I know you've heard of Loaded Gun. It's been around for a while. It's probably, I'm not going to say that. Hey, listen, everybody's got the trading plan they believe is the best, but I think we have the best. You'll see the guarantee on it. Nobody gives a guarantee. I'm going to show you something that I think will impress you for some reason. The core, the Loaded Gun Simple Trading Plan I'm going to give you the core Loaded Gun Trading Plan. It's really just a couple of videos, and it's about an hour and a half worth of videos, and that includes the demo charts. This is a simple trading plan. It has all the rules fit on one sheet of paper. That's another thing. You can print out the rules and have it in front of you. It's a simple trading plan. That's why and you saw the room that I ran. I learned from there. I've whittled it down. This is the simple trading plan I think you're going to want to try to use. Okay. I'm also going to give you, there are 7 videos on nuances. These are some of the things that I talk about, how you can adjust the simple trading plan to fit you and not discourage any of the percentage winnings that I've tested. Okay, it's just simple things that you can do in the way you act and the way you put on your positions and so on, and where you place your stops. These kinds of things, these nuances, bring you closer to a solid mental state so that you can run the trading plan. Nobody does this because nobody knows how to do it, because nobody respects the mental part of the game like we do here at the discipline. They'll give you, hey, you got to be disciplined, you got to, be more focused. Oh yeah, how? Well, I'm showing you how. I'm giving you the tools to do that. Not only adjusting the plan to fit you, but also we also have, if you need, the meditations and other things that have worked over the years for traders. Okay, but the videos, these videos, there are 7 of them where I'm always working on testing. I've been testing it for over a year. These 2 others. But there are nuances again that can change you to your trading plan, change your trading plan to match you. Also, we have monthly get-togethers um, every last Wednesday of the month. We all get together. We all get together and we have our little boxes and we talk about our experiences and so on. And it's really fun. And that's where I've learned a number of things. In fact, that the second, listen, I think I know a lot. Okay, you see my experience, but I'm learning all the time. My wife asked me, "Why you're learning all the time? Why do you need to look at that?" Because I'm learning all the time. I love to learn. You got to keep learning. Business charts change, business changes, everything changes. Monthly get-togethers, we all get together. This is where one of the guys who's a professional trader and actually a piano virtuoso said, "Hey, why don't we use this? I've been trying this moving averages to keep us out of trades that have a lower probability and keep us in trades that we would get popped out of." Unbelievable. We put it in. It's part of the system. I'm telling you, I don't think you've experienced what we do. Updates. Again, in these monthly meetings, we share experiences. If you can't be there at 4 o'clock Eastern time every last Wednesday of the month, sometimes I change it, but it's mostly there. You can get the recording, or you can give me your questions before the meeting, and I'll make sure I answer it at our meeting. Okay. I also, the first bonus is the unlimited one-on-one coaching for 90 days. I mentioned to you, it's only going to take an hour and a half, maybe an hour, 3/4 of videos to get the basic plan done. And then you'll watch the nuances. They're about 10 minutes each with the examples. You know, we talk, and then I want you to watch some of our past get-togethers so that you can see where we are now with the system and the improvements even that we've made over the great system. We're constantly looking to be better and better. And uh, after you've looked at a couple of the past meetings, which are an hour apiece, so after about 4 or 5 hours of learning, again, it's a simple training plan, then you want to make your appointment with me, okay? The first one. And that's where this clock starts. So if you're taking a vacation for the next 2 weeks, take advantage of my offer here because you won't see what I'm about to show you. Tell you why in a second. But don't stall. If you're interested now, saying, "Oh, I'm not here for 2 weeks, 90 days. It's only going to," no, it's not going to be. The clock starts with the first meeting. So take advantage of this offer now. Go ahead and learn it on your own time. Take a month if you want. You won't need that. If you're taking a vacation, yeah, and then book your with me. I'm going to be with you every step of the way. As soon as you invest in the simple trading plan, you're going to get an email with my calendar link. You'll be able to schedule a one-on-one with me, and I'll proceed to learn about you, your background. I really kind of dig in because it's important. And advise you how to get a quick start with your new purchase. As you perfect running the plan, I'm going to be there with you for as long as you for at least 90 days here. But you know, if it's 100 days, 1,000 days, I'm into your success. Okay, I want you to, and there's been a lot more successes when you're dealing with trading somebody else's money the right way. Really want to show you how to do this. I'll be with you every step of the way. Okay, so let me show you the. I think you know the magic of one-on-one coaching, but quickly, it's personalized attention, a tailored approach, a tailored learning style, experience level. I want to know if you're a detailed person or you're right to the point. These are all important things for have you. I'm going to show you how to manage within the manage in a simple way the trading plan I'm giving you. I don't know anybody that does this, and it's so important. I know this from the guys and gals I coached. There were 2 women in that room, and they were either they were the top of the board or the bottom of the board. That seems to be, I don't know why that is, but women make great traders. I'm telling you. Flexibility, I think it's the ego thing. I don't know. Flexibility of scheduling. You choose your time, you'll get my calendar. And again, the accountability. When you meet with me and we decide what your next move is, and I say, "Hey, you know, meet with me. Even if we have no questions, meet with me in a couple of weeks. I want to see how you're doing." You know, you say, "Sure, sure, sure." I'm going to bug you. You say, "Hey, let's meet. You didn't make an appointment." I want to know that you're advancing. Don't do this. if you just want to do another dance. This is your last stop. Okay, it's your last stop, and I really want it to be. The fact that you have my back has all made all the difference. I know I've only met you twice, but it's all I needed to understand your process. It's a whole new world for me right now. This was a very heartfelt. When he told this to me personally, there were tears, and I got into tears. I'm doing it now. I cry easily, but I'm telling you, this is a doable thing. Ronaldo is a great guy. I'm really glad he's moving forward. And here's just a few of the reasons. One, I passed an Apex 100,000 eval in 4 days, trading loaded gun, mostly scalping, but a few runners brought it home. I still have a few trading days left to finish 6,000 in 4 days this week. He makes $6,000 in 4 days this week. Look, this is almost not what I suggest. I'd rather you just march 300 a day, 500 a day. You know, but leave that space open for that 1 day of the week or 1 day of the month that all of a sudden it was a $2,000 trade. Hi, Norman and Tisha. I'm making some progress now. I really credit your guidance with your voice in my head. I now have 3 funded accounts with Apex. Requested my first small payout from 2 of those accounts yesterday. I also coach on how to take. I showed you this one because a lot of the testimonials that you see are, hey, it really started out. You really know what you're doing. No, I'm showing you results. Okay, because that's all that matters in this. I don't want you to be spinning your wheels. Okay, so here's one just in this month from Ken Craig. Please share with your wife. He's worked with us on the mental part too. My wife handles most of that. So since funding my first 5 Apex fifth, this guy's aggressive, Apex account last Thursday, and 5 more 2 days later this Tuesday, in those 10 funded accounts, $21,000 of real money, all in the NASDAQ. I'm working on 5 more to get funded. God has so richly blessed me. You know, he's got a ticket to God. He's got a direct line, apparently. And he's got a good trading plan. So all of that works for him. All right, here's a second bonus I want to give you. You know, sometimes setting everything up can be, you know, if you don't have NinjaTrader, they like you to have it. You can use other platforms at most of these firms. And you've got to set up your data feed. So there's a data feed, and then then you got to hook the data feed up to your. It took me 10 days to do it because I'm not a nerd. I got the math degree, but I'm not in the math business because I'm not a very good nerd. And so I know a nerd, and I'm going to give that nerd to you so that you don't have to do it. It's a done for you setup. If you're not already set up, I'm going to set you up on me. Data feed. This is a $150 thing that we offer for those that need it, that don't get this bonus. Apex and Top Step have a more advanced setup that can be confusing to some tech challenge traders like me. So I'll connect you with my young genius. His name is Brady, who will jump into your computer. You'll give him permission, and you'll watch his mouse go all around. Within 10 minutes, he'll have everything set up for you. And then he'll answer any questions you have on Apex or NinjaTrader. He's an expert on any trading platform. So you're going to get about 45 minutes with him, okay? I pay him for 45 minutes to spend with you. So he's going to get it set up. Why beat your head against the wall like I did? Let this guy set it up. All you have to do is start trading. He'll even set up your first few charts for you. Okay. So all in all, it was really went well. Brady is obviously skilled. His cursor darted back and forth, well, without explanation. It ended up feeling like I had gotten a bargain. Okay. This is Roger. This person actually paid the $150 and was very thankful for it. It's a great value at that. I'm giving it to you. I don't want you to hesitate on this if you're enough pain, okay? Because I want to help you if you'd allow me to. Okay, here's a third bonus. I've never given this bonus because we've never run it. For the last couple of months, we've been running a trading room, and it's really going well. And I'm going to allow you access to that trading room. It runs 5 days a week. It's in the mornings, okay, Eastern time. There's 3 days. Any trader can be it. New traders, advanced traders, anybody. A new trader tends to ask a lot of questions in a room. It's a good place to learn. It's a good place to learn by what others are doing, but it's, you know, it can be a little bit cumbersome on the moderator if you're if you're asking basic questions that you should know just by watching. You know, you can't take advantage of this and then the next day, without looking at the videos, go into the trading room. That won't happen. He's going to ask you, have you looked at the videos? Do you have a basic understanding? And if a basic there may be a few questions, and that's fine. But we, so all traders are welcome to this. New traders, old traders, and there'll be questions, and we know that. There's 2 days out of the week that for advanced traders. This is where you start to learn a little bit about trading lingo a little bit. You learn, so when the trading, when we judge that you're a confident trader who's winning and we've got a room for you too. Okay, so at least 3 days a week, maybe 5 if you're into it. Okay, so I'm giving you this bonus. I'm giving you access to this bonus for at least the 90 days that we're talking about in the one-on-ones. Okay, access to our trading room. Okay. I think I'm surprising David. He's never seen this before. It's been in the background. I've been using it for and now I'm satisfied that it's going to be the kind of trading room that I like to see run. All right, here's the timing research special offer. Okay, the loaded gun simple trading plan, the core loaded gun plan, as I mentioned, all the nuances, the monthly get-togethers, the bonus one with the unlimited one-on-one coaching, the hands-on setup if you don't already have it. Maybe it's not, if you're set up, it's not a bonus for you, but fine. If you're new to TradeStation, I'll give you the hour for him too. And access to the trading room is your bonus 3, okay? And so let me give you my personal guarantee. I am so confident that if you follow the loaded gun simple trading plan, it will result in you getting funded by your prop firm so that you risk their money and not yours and still receive 90% of the profit you generate. Just share your trading experience with me, that you followed the simple rules, it didn't work for you, and I will refund your purchase plus $500 for your trouble. I've never had to do this, but I am willing to do it if you can show me that it's such a simple plan. You can say, that's not working for me. Show me a couple of charts that you traded on where you had losses, and let's see. That actually hasn't even happened yet, because generally when this is not successful for you, it's because of you and the mental part, and I want to help you with that too. But this is a guarantee that nobody gives. If you ask them why they give it, they say they can't control the way you think. They can't control the way. So yes, this is conditional. I just want to know that you followed the simple plan. It won't be hard to judge. It's a very simple plan. So this is the strongest guarantee in the business. Okay, so here is the final slide. Well, I'm going to give you the special shot after this, but your timing research special is the loaded gun simple trading plan. We sell it on our site right now. We offer it for a very, very reasonable $24.97. Okay, which you get the core, the nuances, and the monthly meetings, okay? But then I'm giving you the bonuses, the one-on-one coaching for 90 days. It's at least a $2,500 value. And again, this 90 days starts with our first meeting, so don't hesitate to jump into this if you see a value in it, okay? Bonus 2, I'm going to set up everything for you. I'm going to have Brady jump into your computer. That's $250 value, but I usually discount it for members for $150. But for you, it's going to be free. Access to the trading room. Most trading rooms charge $1,000 a month. I'm $100 a month, $1,200. I'm giving you access for at least the first 90 days. Maybe it's not 1,200 if it's only 90 days. But I don't count days. If you like it, I'll probably leave you in there. A lot of people just keep on liking it and do it. So it's a $6,447 value. You can subtract a little bit here if you don't agree with that, but everybody puts those numbers, and that's not the important thing. The important thing is that you're getting a tremendous value because you're getting closer to winning, okay? So $24.97 is not what I'm going to charge you, not what I'm going to ask. Timing research, David and I have been together for, I don't know, 10 years, I'm going to guess it's going to be. So when he asked me to do this, I said, I'm going to do something really special. So 50% off, $24.97. And if you've ever been on some of the other favors I do for people, I do give this price from time to time. Not lower, but this price. I am going to go lower. I can't go much lower, but I can go a little bit lower for David. And listen, timing research, if you want, these guys, hey, take a look at their stuff and all their past videos. In any event, 1247. I'm going to reduce it just another $100 to 11. I'm sorry, another $50 to 1197. Again, it can't be much. I'm paying a number of people here, and listen, I'm not going to justify it. It's worth a lot more than 24.97. And if you see a value at 11.97 with all of these bonuses, the trading room, the done for you setup, and the 90 days one-on-one, let's do it. Let's use the timing research link, TimingResearch.com/LG. LG means is short for loaded gun. Use the coupon code timing. I didn't give you that before, David, so you may want to include that. So the timing research /LG. Okay, timing is the coupon code that will get you the gigantic discount to 1197, $1,300. If you have any questions, I'm going to be on the chat on this page for about 15, 20 minutes after. So if there's any questions I didn't answer, I'll go to that chat. I don't want to, we're already almost at the hour. I'll answer most of the questions after. I want to listen, when you have somebody guiding you, you know the importance of coaching. I'm not going to make it hard on you. I'm going to make it fun. You can see the way I act. I'm kind of a wild and crazy guy. Hey, look, biggest flirt in high school. I was a disco dancer, professional one. I do crazy things. I ran discos. Come on, let's have some fun. Let's try to make some money. Okay. Now, but because of the calendar limitations on this one-on-one, and I cleared most of the people out from last year, there's only a certain amount of room on the calendar if I'm going to do these one-on-ones, and I'm doing them again. So this offer is available for 21 traders. I divide the number of days by I do the divisions. 21 is a good number. I think we can handle that very comfortably, and so that you don't have to book out 4 weeks when you want to. You can book out next week or even tomorrow sometimes if I keep it at a certain level, and 21 traders won't breach that for you. Okay, so I wanted to make sure you had that. I'll answer one question before I give you the extra. Okay, I want to give you this extra stuff. Okay, let's see, training plan one. Let's see. I see a question here real fast. An easy one. Does the trade room work on all futures markets? Yes. I mean, the trading room, he has a certain setup. I think he uses NinjaTrader. But listen, if you can put up this is not, I'm not giving you something to download. You're going to take a look at a simple formation. You're going to take action. Actually, we are working on that. We should have it very shortly. Some input so that it's going to pop up and let you know when things happen, but you really don't need it. But I've been begged for it, so I'm doing it. Okay. So that's I'm going now. I really appreciate you being here. I see another question, but I'm going to answer that after I give you what I promised. You have never seen this before. David's never seen it. I've never shown it before. I mentioned it to a professional trader I had lunch with. It's something that I've always had in the back of my head. And he said, I can't believe you're saying that. I've seen that too. I'm going to show it to you. I've never shown it to anybody. Here we go. And it's kind of crazy, but I'm going to show it to you. Test this for yourself. Okay. There it is. The just popped out, 1197. All right, here it is. Look at this chart. They tell you in trading that don't trade during lunch hour in New York. Okay, don't trade between 12 and 1 o'clock. They tell you the volume is light, and it's probably a good piece of advice before you heard this. And the statement is, yes, the volume is lower, and a lot of times there's not a lot of movements, but the market does tend to sag. And I'm talking about the stock market indexes. The stock market indexes tend to sag, sometimes not appreciably, but sag during that hour. Here's 12 o'clock. And this is all these charts are from the last 4 days. I couldn't fit many here, but test going back. 12, nice sag. Now it comes up, and don't say to me, well, it was the same price. No, I'm saying that at 12 o'clock, if you can expect a sag and get a signal during this period of time, and it usually happens, not usually, But you'll get during this period of time, there's often sagging going on, and it happened every day this week. This was the next day this week. Look from your own charts. 12 o'clock. Now it didn't sag. You know, you're looking for the sag. Here's a sag. That wasn't a great sag, but it, you know, didn't go up. Right. Here's another. The other day before. It's 12 o'clock. Nice sag. Okay. I know you've never. If you've heard this before, stop me now. Again, these are the last 5 days. I'm not cherry picking. I don't know if it's from today. I don't. I may have been part of this from today. No, it wasn't because it didn't trade after 12 o'clock. So the 4 days before. And here's, you see again a slight sag, but you're not seeing a lot of up movement. Okay, so I'm giving you this not to say sell at 12 o'clock and buy again. This is not a seasonal. This is something that if you have some responsible triggers, we would have had this move here in our system. Would have had this move. We would have had this move. We would definitely have had this move, and some more aggressive guys in our system would have had this move. So I'm just saying to you that look for a short trigger early from 12 to 1, and maybe increase your position sizing as opposed to taking the trade. You shouldn't take a trade just because you think it's going to say. If it's a signal to go in this period of time, put on an extra contract, put on an extra micro. Okay, I wanted to show you that, and because I know you've probably never heard it. Did you dig that? That was for the second bonus. Do you mean you would cover the fees for the data fee and trading platform as well as the setup? I'm going to say yes to that because it's not me covering the data feed, the trading platform. Apex gives it to you. Okay, thank you. Very cool. Thanks. Yes, Apex gives you. You don't pay for. You never pay for the data feed. You never pay for the platform. Okay, so yes, but it's Apex that'll give it to you. And as I remember my time with Top Step, they do the same thing. Most do that. Okay, they've kind of negotiated that away. So if you want to take advantage of this, again, I see that we don't have 21 left, but because it pops for me, I got a couple of pops. Look, I'm here for you. You got a great guarantee. If just risking somebody's money wasn't enough for you to win, we got to talk. There's certain things that you need to do that can turn this around, and it's usually from a mental standpoint that we need to. And you need to have the right trading plan. I mean, again, it could be as simple as you get off because you just can't wait for a signal. Well, you got some frequent, reliable triggers that pop. You know much better. So go ahead and do it. But I'm just saying. I've worked with a lot of individual traders, not only personally in my old option firm, but also one-on-one for now a couple of years that I've been offering the one-on-one because I'm doing a lot less trading, a little bit more coaching. That's going to change at the end of this year. You need energy, and you can see I'm a high energy guy at 4 o'clock. So I'm really hoping that I'm hoping that you get my sincerity about this and look me up. You're not going to see anything but this guy cares, and I do. I can't make you a winner if you're not dead set on it. Look at the market. The market, you can't control the market, so it's up to us to control ourselves. We can control how we apply what we see in the market. That we can control, but we can't control what the market is doing. And sometimes you could be wrong, and you got to learn to get over that. We've got ways to help you to do that. But these nuances really help out and really are the cure for a lot of people. And sometimes they don't have to go to the mental stuff. But I'm just saying, even people with mental afflictions, they're making money, but they could be making more. And I really want to work with you on that if that's your case. So if there's not, let's say, do you need to commit to trade every day, every trading day? No, I don't. I trade Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 8 o'clock to 12 personally. You won't see me responding to anything, but that's all I trade. Let me tell you this. First of all, who am I talking to? Aries? Oh, Aries. Wow, I'm an Aries. Or is that? I guess that's Aries. Don't hurt me, but I'm an Aries too. The lesser, sometimes I advise that people stop. I always do. Don't trade all day. pick a time frame where you see yourself get. It's usually in the early part of your trading, and because you get wary. The less time you trade, the more focused you are in your trading. Again, it's all about following a responsible trading plan. I'm giving you the trading plan. If you follow it, you'll be a profitable trader. But if you don't, that's on you. And if it's on you, I got to give you some tips to get it off you. Okay. And one of those tips I'll give you is to cut down on the time you trade, because the less time you trade. I've got a guy trading an hour a day. He uses the 2 minute chart and sometimes the one. I'm not excited about the one. I'm really not, but he always traded the one. I moved him to it too. Imagine he was making 100 trades a day, trading six. Now he's got a job. He can only trade an hour a day. He said, Norman, what do I do? What are you going to do? Plan to be a more successful trader. That's what you got to do. Plan for the extra money, because when you limit the time you trade, you're going to be a better trader. Your focus is going to be more. Okay. Let me see if I have any other questions. I'll be on for any other questions that you have. When you go to this page, you'll see a little bottom right. You'll see a thing that I'll be on there to answer any questions if you want to chat. All right, let's see. Is the LG working on TradeView? Yeah, yes, of course. It'll work on any chart that you can bring up a candle chart, and everything I know makes a candle chart. Does the trade room work on all futures markets? Yes. The plan, yes, it works on all futures market. I trade 7 different markets. I'll give you another tip. You're here. If you're a prop trader and you're new to it, if you're new, start with the currencies. Start with the Japanese yen and the. I mean, yes, you can do the micros but I really like the fact that you can take much fuller positions. You can take a couple of actually full contracts in the euro dollar, which really can move, and the Japanese yen, which moves more slowly if you're newer, but they tend to trend. And that's what I like about them. So you can trade any market. Okay. I traded some silver today. All right. Recording will be posted. All right. If there's no other, let's see two other questions. Let's see. Timing research. Yes. Code timing. That's all you need. All right. Well, if there's no, I'm going to do the 60-second rule, which is that if there's no questions in 60 seconds, well, I'm just going to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I got a big heart. Not that I'm a nice guy, but my doctor tells me I have a big heart from high blood pressure too long. So let's get that straight. All right. So we got 45 seconds to the 1 minute rule. If you've got any questions, if you have something that lingers on and you have a question, I'm going to be for 15 to 20 minutes. I'll be on the actual site that you get to when you go to TimingResearch.com/LG and use the code timing for that crazy discount. Greatly appreciated all the insight. Well, thank you, Labradley. I hope I'm reading that right, but this is why I'm not on Facebook. I am Facebook, but I'm not on Instagram very much, because you got these crazy names that's going on. I guess I can do, hash something or other. Excuse my French. All right, we're at 15 seconds. So if no other questions, I really want to see you on the other end. Let's get going. You got a great guarantee. David, thank you for, let's see, can I look at the replay? David will send you one. It's his show. I'm just here for the fun and here for the offer and, here to really help. And David's another one of those guys that likes to help. Yes, David.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Thank you for being here. A ton of good info. So yeah, the replay will be on TimingResearch.com as soon as I can get it processed. And yeah, just really appreciate Norman being here with us today to share his insights on the markets and his program.
I'm going to just say an official goodbye by just waving to you. I'm real. This was not a recording. All right. Thank you very much. You can close it down and we're good. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
All
And
right.
yes,
Thanks, everyone. And thanks, Norman.
bye-bye.